as they announce
Southeastern Championship Wrestling, the largest wrestling organization in the United States of America today, has purchased all of the state of Alabama as far as wrestling promotion rights are concerned. And right off the bat, you will be seeing some of the top stars in pro wrestling in America and in the world today. You'll be seeing a lot of action on today's television program. We'll be familiarizing you more with Southeastern wrestling a little later on in today's program. Live matches today include Bob Armstrong taking on the Superstar. We'll see a special on the former World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Tony Charles. We'll also see the Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield, in action against Reggie Simpson. The Mongolian Stomper, the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion. We'll be seeing a special on this phenomenon in pro wrestling. On our personality profile, we'll be talking to Bob Armstrong. The Big C's 1 and 2 take on former Pittsburgh Steeler Charlie Cook and his partner today, Rick Gibson. And we'll be talking with the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller, who'll be helping us narrate a match in which the last world title change took place, where Terry Funk was defeated by Harley Race in Montreal, Canada. As we said, we'll be talking more about Southeastern Championship Wrestling and what you'll be seeing in the future a little later on today's program. Thank you for joining us for our first edition of Southeastern Wrestling. Let's go to the ring for action.
Your attention, please. Our first match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee, Bruce Fortson. Bruce Fortson, your referee. Introducing, in the corner to my left, at 228 pounds from Marietta, Georgia, Bob Armstrong. His opponent at 215 pounds from parts unknown, the Superstar.
And it's the Superstar taking on Marietta, Georgia's Bob Armstrong. Bob Armstrong, one of the top competitors in the world of pro wrestling today. Over on the ropes, the Superstar. Call for the break by the referee. Collar and elbow again, center of the ring, and it's Armstrong with the hammerlock on the Superstar. Superstar looking for some means of escape. Bob Armstrong, we'll be talking with him a little later today on our personality profile, bringing you up to date with this man and his accomplishments as a professional wrestler over the years he has been in competition, and it is quite tremendous. Arm twist and drag, good takedown by Armstrong, down for the pin, count of 1. And it's the Superstar going in, collar and elbow again, over on the ropes. Hard right, and it's Armstrong with a good connection of the side of the head, stuns the Superstar. Armstrong side headlock, hip toss, takedown, and maintains that side headlock. Also coming up today, a special on the former World Junior Heavyweight Champion. That's Tony Charles. We'll be seeing in action at a special presentation the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, the Mongolian Stomper. In tag action on today's program, Charlie Cook and Rick Gibson take on the Big C's 1 and 2, and we'll also be seeing in action the Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield. Arm whips his man into the ropes. Good body block. Now hip toss takedown and a side headlock by Bob Armstrong. Armstrong as far in this match. You notice the upper body of Armstrong. Tough competitor, and the strength that this man has, unbelievable. Former Marine. We'll be talking with Bob Moore on profile today. Takes his man into the ropes, crosses over, and good takedown and block. Hip toss takedown again, and once again with the side headlock, Bob Armstrong. Bob Armstrong maintaining that side headlock. Superstar back up on his feet. Backs Armstrong over into the corner. Hard right to the midsection. And a right to the side of the head. And again, Superstar unleashing the punishment on Armstrong now. Looking for some type of shortcut in this match. Armstrong, good move. From the ropes in the turnbuckle. Use of the feet. Now it's Armstrong taking his man over in the rope, hard right into the midsection, doubles up the superstar. Snapmare takedown. High hip toss takedown. Armstrong with the full body slam down for the pin. 2 count. And once again, the superstar powers out. Beautiful move by Armstrong. Catches the superstar with that clothesline coming off of the ropes. Takes his man up again, full slam. Armstrong backing up, coming up high with the elbow into the chest area, down for the pin. 3 count, and your winner from Marietta, Georgia is Bob Armstrong. More action to come on Southeastern Championship Wrestling right now with a special presentation of the former World Junior Heavyweight Champion. His name is Tony Charles, and I think you'll admit he's an outstanding athlete.
Have entered the professional wrestling wars in the United States. One such athlete is Tony Charles of Wales. Charles began his athletic career in the rough and tumble sport of rugby. Moving on to wrestling, his amateur titles paved the way for yet more championships in the professional ranks. A man as diversified outside the ring as in, Tony numbers among his hobbies fishing and archery.
These are commonly known as Indian clubs, but actually they are Persian clubs. It's an old, ancient way of training, and I find they give you flexibility, stamina, and strength, and I really enjoy using them. And they obviously combine with any other sort of form of training, like swimming and running, which I usually employ, and it helps me to complete my program of training. Now, this is my very favorite form of exercise. This gives me a chance to get away and relax, away from the pressures of wrestling, away from everyday living. The surrounding areas, when you go fishing, remind me of a beautiful spot I bought in Colorado. One day I hope to retire there. Now, the reason why I like hunting is it's not just because of the kill. That's immaterial. The thing is that it's beautiful to go back in nature and use your own skills in the primitive ways, because actually the hunt and the thing you're hunting is like your opponent. And you've got to be just as wise. Just as wrestling your opponent, you've got to know the ways and hows and the tracks. And to me, this is beautiful.
Tony Charles has proven time and time again that he is a force to be reckoned with in professional wrestling. He possesses all the talent to wrestle an opponent hold for hold or to battle him toe-to-toe. He plans each move as though it were a chess match as he goes about his winning ways. His major goal now is to regain the World Junior Heavyweight title.
Tony Charles in action in that special, and that man will be in action soon here in our area in the state of Alabama under the sanctioning of Southeastern Championship Wrestling. the largest wrestling organization in America today, spanning from the Ohio Valley to the Gulf of Mexico. You'll be seeing him in action in this area very soon. More action to come when Southeastern Championship Wrestling continues. Wrestling of the entire state of Alabama and its promotion rights for pro wrestling. This can mean only one thing: top competitors in this area, a lot of money and prize money and tournaments that, as in the past, and I've been affiliated with Don Curtis for some 4 years now, and I've seen Cadillac tournaments, I've seen Continental tournaments, but the name of the game is competition, and the man seated to my left, Bob Armstrong, is very much a contender in this area now in the state of Alabama. Bob?
Well, I was real pleased that Don Curtis saw fit to purchase this area, and I think it'll do a lot for wrestling all over Alabama. I know you and I have talked several times about his proposed prizes that he'll be giving away. He believes in giving away a lot of money. He believes in putting a lot of money back into wrestling. Now, as you saw, that first match was a pretty tough match. The guy was pretty tough, but I got an old saying: when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And I reside by that. I train hard. I try to be a top competitor, like you said, and it's going to be a pleasure wrestling this area because I'm no stranger. I know a lot of people around the Birmingham area and all the surrounding area. I've been there and had some of my toughest matches there, and now it looks like I'm going to be coming back. We've talked several times about the tournament to be held for the Alabama State Championship.
That is going to be some kind of
exactly
tournament,
right. There'll be many, many matches, and many, many stars from all over the country have already signed, and Don Curtis is right now looking for more people. It'll probably be the biggest tournament ever held in this area, and it will crown an Alabama State champion. Everybody needs a champion. So I think these people with the stars that have already entered will get one heck of a champion. It'll be a long, hard night, and of course you and I can talk about that more as the weeks come, but I just want to express my pleasure of being back here. I hope to stay in shape, train hard, and when that tournament comes along, I hope I'm the man to wear the new Alabama belt. It has been sanctioned by the NWA, and it's really going to be something to see, Charlie.
Well, your previous records in pro wrestling, Bob Armstrong, only thing I can say, and showing no favoritism, you will be a top contender for that title, I'm sure, because I've seen you in matches all over the country and in Japan, and you are an outstanding competitor anywhere you go, and a hard-fought competitor.
Well, thank you very much. I hope I can live up to that.
And a lot of outstanding competitors will be coming your way in the near future. As we said, you'll be seeing Tony Charles in action, former World Junior Heavyweight Champion. And later on in today's program, a lot of exciting matches coming your way. So we certainly hope you'll stay with us for the first edition of Southeastern Championship Wrestling, the largest wrestling organization in America today.
Your attention, please. Our next match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing, in the corner to my left, at 205 pounds, from Nashville, Tennessee, Reggie Simpson. Reggie Simpson. His opponent, at 228 pounds, from Tampa, Florida, known around the world as the Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield.
Reggie Simpson taking on Eddie Mansfield. Eddie Mansfield, known all over the world in pro wrestling. He is quite an outspoken gentleman and very colorful. You'll see that in the ring and in his comments. Also quite controversial. Eddie Simpson with the head scissors. Mansfield, the Continental Lover, quickly moves out. Hard right connection and that elbow to the top of the head. It's Mansfield quickly in this match taking the shortcuts, throws his man out onto the floor. Eddie Mansfield pulling down full weight. Reggie Simpson with that throat over the top rope. Mansfield takes his man into the ropes. Clothesline coming off. Down for the pin. 1 count, and Reggie Simpson powers out. Eddie Mansfield with the chin lock from behind. Simpson looking for some means of escape. And it's Mansfield taking another shortcut. You can clearly see the tights were pulled in that situation. Front chancery now by Mansfield, and he comes down with a hard right to the back of the head of Simpson. Coming off, down, off of that rope, down hard. Mansfield continuing to administer the punishment. Mansfield again on the attack. He says he loves punishment, that is to give punishment to his opponents. Raking across the eyes, it's Mansfield. Mansfield and his shortcuts in this match. Quite a few accomplishments has been made by this young man in his career in pro wrestling. Former baseball player. We'll be talking with Eddie some later on in programs about his baseball career. Front chancery now. Simpson throwing those rights in. Takes Mansfield into the turnbuckle, but it's Mansfield catching his man as Simpson comes in. And again, Mansfield with a boot to the midsection. Mansfield using that forearm and elbow neck breaker. Into that neck breaker position, down for the pin. That's it. And your winner of the match, the Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield, one of the super athletes you'll be seeing competing here in the state of Alabama with Southeastern Championship Wrestling. And speaking of Southeastern Championship Wrestling, some problems by the referee there getting Mansfield off of his opponent after the win. The Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, the man who holds the title for an area that covers from the Ohio Valley to the Gulf of Mexico, is an extremely tough competitor. He has to be to hold that title. The Southeastern Heavyweight Champion is the Mongolian Stomper, an outstanding competitor. His style in the ring has been argued pro and con, mostly against his type of competition, and we have a special that we would like to present on the fabulous Mongolian Stomper.
Hi there. Just sitting back, relaxing, listening to some good, soft music. I would like to take this opportunity to show you people the greatest, the most impressive person in the whole wide world, the Mongolian Stomper.
The Mongolian Stomper, 6 feet 2 inches tall, 272 pounds, one of the most powerful wrestling machines in the sport today. After being discovered in his native Mongolia, his wrestling career began when he was taken to Europe. After a 3-year period of touring European rings, he was brought to the United States where he became an overnight star. Because of his moody attitude and unpredictable habits, his contract has been carried by no less than 4 managers. It seems as though his greatest achievements have been under the watchful eye of Gorgeous George Jr., who is currently handling the affairs of the Mongolian. Mongolian is called by his manager the 8th wonder of the world. Now you will see one of the reasons why. Before you is one of professional wrestling's strongest men, Joe LeDuc. Witness what happens when the concrete block balanced on his head is smashed by the stomper. Now watch as Gorgeous George Jr. breaks a block on the head of the Mongolian. Let's take a look at that once again in slow motion. It takes a powerful man to stand up under that kind of blow. Although it would be impossible to list all the championships won by the Stomper throughout his career, a partial list would read like this: Central States Champion, Texas State Champion, North American Heavyweight Champion, Canadian Champion, Southeastern Champion, and many more. It has been said the Stomper may hold more belts than any man in the history of the sport. Big, strong, skillful, and cunning make the Mongolian Stomper a hard man to put down.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Some wonderful moments in my life and now in your life. The man, the eighth wonder of the world, the Mongolian Stomper, holder of more world titles than any 10 professional wrestlers today. We'll see you at ringside.
And you will be seeing the Mongolian Stomper, the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, in action soon, right here in the state of Alabama. Our personality profile on Southeastern Wrestling is coming up next. Each week on Southeastern Championship Wrestling, we feature Personality Profile. It's a kind of informal talk, Bob Armstrong, with wrestlers and competitors throughout the Southeastern Wrestling area on not only their personalities and their private life, home life, what's happening with them, but we'll also be talking about major events upcoming in the Southeastern Wrestling area. This our pilot program of Southeastern Championship Wrestling. I thought Bob Armstrong would like to join us today. He agreed, and we're just going to be talking about what the people will be seeing in the Southeastern Wrestling area. I know you and I had a meeting with, you were present with Don Curtis when we talked over some plans that he has for this part of the country that are just remarkable as far as tournaments are concerned, and the tournament for the Alabama State Champion will be a big event, Bob.
Exactly. Like we said before, Charlie, Don Curtis doesn't mind putting out the coins, and you can tell that by buying the wrestling area from, like you said, the Ohio River to the Gulf of Mexico, and that cost him a pretty penny. But he believes in putting money back into wrestling. He believes in spending a lot of money, and he believes in getting top stars, and I was very privileged and thanked him very much when he asked me to come and wrestle for him, and I did sign my name on the contract. Some of the other people that you'll be seeing is Ron Fuller, the big Tennessee stud, who's 6'9", goes around 270 or 80. You're going to see stars like Mr. Wrestling, too. I'm sure that he'll be in on this tournament for Alabama, because I talked to him at the Omni, and he said he was very interested because news is traveling like wildfire all over the NWA, all over the United States, because this new title that the NWA has sanctioned, the Alabama State Champion, is going to be a very prestigious title. And you'll have people coming in from all over to try to win it.
You're right, Bob. Let's talk a minute about Bob Armstrong, because certainly titles are no stranger to you. North American Heavyweight Champion, Georgia Heavyweight Champion, Florida State Heavyweight Champion, Bob Armstrong, and championship is a word that goes synonymous.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie. I'm glad you said that, not me, but I have had a few titles, and believe me, that's where it's at in pro wrestling. As everybody knows, the championship football team makes the money, baseball team pennant winners make the money. In wrestling, it's no different. The man that has the belt and holds the championship makes the bread, the top bread. Now, Don Curtis has got a very good system. He pays a winner of a match 35% more than the loser. Now, brother, 35% gives you a lot of initiative to go out there and win matches, and he likes winners. I don't like to be a loser for sure. Nobody likes to be a loser. I intend to be a winner. That's why I'm here, and that's why I hope to stay here. So with all that's going on, it's going to be, I hope I'm not lost in the shuffle, because there'll be a lot of wrestling talent in this area for sure. And I just hope that I can win some more titles. And this Alabama State Championship looks like one that anybody would want to win. Because, like I said before, Alabama is fastly becoming one of the noted wrestling spots in the country under the NWA banner, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
And with this purchase of the entire state of Alabama, Bob Armstrong, as we have brought out moments before in the program, it's going to make the state of Alabama the hotbed of pro wrestling in the United States today. And the competition we saw earlier today on the program, that special on the Mongolian Stomper, who is the Southeastern heavyweight champion.
And not only that, Charlie, if you'll excuse me, you know, you and I talked about this before, but you're going to have films of the world heavyweight champion, the initial match in which he beat Terry Funk from Toronto, Canada, I believe.
That's coming up later today.
Right, and you'll have the junior world's heavyweight champion, Les Thornton, because Curtis has spent the money. He's bringing in the top caliber, the top champions, and everybody that watches this show will get to see these champions. And believe me, when they come into this area, I'm going to try to do my dead level best to see they don't leave with those belts. They leave them right here in Alabama.
Bob Armstrong, our guest today on Personality Profile. And Bob, in the closing moments of this profile, I would like to extend my congratulations to you for signing with Don Curtis in Southeastern Championship Wrestling as a competitor in this area. I'd also like to say best of luck to you and your endeavors in this area. Bob and I, friendship goes back a few years, and I try to show no partiality whatsoever, but friends are friends, and Bob Armstrong, it's great to have you in the Southeastern wrestling area, as it is to have Charlie Cook. The caliber of talent is just remarkable what Don Curtis is putting together, bringing into this area.
That's right. Charlie Cook, you know, a former Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You know, professional athletes are coming into pro wrestling right and left, especially a lot of football players. Charlie Cook is a man to contend with. He was a heck of a linebacker for Pittsburgh, and he'll be a heck of a wrestler for Alabama, believe me.
Thank you very much. Bob Armstrong, our guest today on Personality Profile on the first edition of Southeastern Championship Wrestling in the state of Alabama.
Your attention, please. Our first match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee for today's match is Bruce Fortson. Bruce Fortson. Introducing, in the corner to my left, at a combined weight of 480 pounds, Charlie Cook and Ricky Gibson. Cook and Gibson. Their opponents, the current Southeastern Tag Team Champions, at a combined weight of 512 pounds, Big C's 1 and 2.
It's the Big C's 1 and 2, taking on Rick Gibson and former Pittsburgh Steeler Charlie Cook. On our first event here today on Southeastern Championship Wrestling, and our profile, the Fuller brothers, Mario Galento. A lot of things happening, a lot of important things in the Southeastern wrestling area, and we'll be bringing you up to date. The bell sounds, we're ready for action. Big C number 2 starting off against Cook. Collar and elbow center of the ring, over on the ropes, and a forearm, but a right thrown back by Cook. Stuns Big C number 2. Backs up again, going into grip, center of the ring. Side headlock by Charlie Cook. Cook, former Pittsburgh Steeler, outstanding athlete throughout the Southeastern wrestling area and all over the United States of America. Tag is made with Big C number 1. Man who's posed many problems to competitors. And look at that move by Cook. Now watch the flying drop kick, and the Big C goes out of the ring.
And quickly kill, might add. Cook starts to take charge in that ring. Cook, if you will notice, is without the football helmet now. So evidently he has regained full use of his injured head that was injured about 4 weeks ago right here. Coming back strong now against Big C number 2 is Charlie Cook. A one-man show, and there's a headbutt on Big C number 1 as he tags in Ricky Gibson. Charlie Cook, Ricky Gibson comes in with that wrist lock on Big C number 2. Ricky Gibson from Pensacola, Florida. Working hard.
Tubes for $8.99. Shop Thriftway this.
Goes Big C number 2. Gibson drags the man over to the corner, tags in Charlie Cook. Cook winds up, comes up high, lateral leg drop on that left arm of the Big C number 2. One half of the Southeastern Tag Team Champions. Big C 2 catches Charlie Cook with a knee to the midsection, and Cook goes down. 2, meanwhile, tags in number 1. Big C number 1 comes in with that glove to the throat area. Working on Charlie Cook again to the throat area. There's a tag with Big C number 2. Meanwhile, Big C number 1 blocks any progress as Charlie Cook. Big C number 2 takes charge in the corner, right near our broadcast booth. It's still Big C number 2 working with that knee to the midsection of Charlie Cook. Referee is Bruce Fortson. He's trying to break him up. Finally got the break. Into the knee goes Charlie Cook. Staggered momentarily. A hard right to the midsection by the Big C number 1. And then an uppercut to the throat area. Knocks Big Charlie Cook down. Arm drag takedown by Big C number 1 into an arm bar. Cook trying to make his way over to Ricky Gibson. Gibson with his outstretched hand, you can see in the background. Cook makes the tag. Ricky Gibson comes in. A boot to number 2. A hard right to number 1, then number 2 as Gibson takes on both of them. Snap mare on number 2. Ricky Gibson for the count. 1. But Big 2 kicks out. Ricky Gibson now with the advantage on Big C number 2.
At front chancery, underhooked his man. It's a Big C number 2 throwing in a right, trying to get Gibson to relinquish the hold. He does not. He maintains that front chancery. Now it's Big C number 2 underhooking Gibson. Gibson over in that wrong corner. Tag is made with Big C number 1 as Big C number 2 holds hard right to Rick Gibson, competitor from Pensacola, Florida. Arm whips his man into the ropes, comes off, high back body drop. Tag is made with his partner again. And it's Big C number 2 coming down with leverage from the rope, dropping that knee into the throat area of Rick Gibson. What appears to be a chin lock. Rick Gibson, no, I believe he is clawing.
Looks like he's just pulling the cheeks, Charlie, of Ricky Gibson.
Rick Gibson looking for a means of escape. Big C number 2 putting that boot into the back. Gibson now over that top rope as the Big C number 1 pulls down his weight. Hard right to the midsection. Big C number 2 putting that boot into the chest area. Takes his man up. Backbreaker. Dropping that back across the knee. Tag is made with Big C number 1. And it's the Big C number 1 coming in with that hard right at that glove. That appeared to be, obviously, a thumb to the throat there, Al.
Looked like it, Charlie. Sure did. And Ricky Gibson went down hard. Gibson catches the top turnbuckle from Big C number 1. But Gibson fights back with a boot. Momentarily staggers Big C number 1, but quickly number 1 is on the attack, and into the far turnbuckle goes Ricky Gibson again. Ricky Gibson been in there a long time, taking a lot of punishment. Big C number 2 is in there. Ricky Gibson rolls under that bottom rope to get back into the action. Body tossed off the rope. A boot catches Ricky Gibson in the chest area. Again in the wrong corner. Double toss into the turnbuckle. Don't know who's in there, who made the tag. Again into the turnbuckle. Ricky Gibson up and down. Rolls over. Tag made. Charlie Cook. Cook comes in. Starts to attack them both. 1 and 2. 2 is staggered against the rope. Number 1 walks into a hard right. Another hard right administered by Charlie Cook as he now works for the body slam on number 1. On top for the count. There's 1. There's 2, but number 1 kicks out. Meanwhile, all 4 men are in there. Charlie Cook has the advantage on Big C number 1. Ricky Gibson has the advantage on Big C number 2.
It appears Big C number 1 doing something with that glove.
With the hot dust.
That's it. We have an upset. The Southeastern tag title holders have been upset in a non-title match here on television. The winners of the match, Charlie Cook and Rick Gibson. And two outstanding competitors with a super win, Rick Gibson and former Pittsburgh Steeler Charlie Cook. More action to come when Southeastern Championship Wrestling continues. Come today on Southeastern Championship Wrestling because we'll be talking with the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. And Ron will be narrating a very important videotape with us in which the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, former champion Terry Funk, was defeated by the current champion Harley Race in Canada. We'll be talking with Ron Fuller and seeing that match in just a few minutes right here on Southeastern Wrestling. Right now, former Pittsburgh Steeler Charlie Cook. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlie.
And you are no stranger to the state of Alabama, by any means.
No, I'm not, Charlie. You know, all my people, my mother, father, and my grandparents, and I have so many cousins right around Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and Utah, and I'm glad to be in this area. You know, I've been thinking about moving back to Tuscaloosa, and this could be just as good a time as any.
Charlie, you're an outstanding competitor. You played pro football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tell us a little about that.
I played 9 years of professional football, Charlie, and during the off season, I used to lay around and doing nothing, so I wanted to do something to stay in shape and make money also. And wrestling was one of my first loves, and so I approached wrestling with a negative attitude, but once I got into it, I liked it. And here I am, Charlie, right here in the Alabama area, and I hope to stay here for a long time.
You were one of the first to sign with Don Curtis on the big purchase of Southeastern Wrestling for the entire state of Alabama. And I'm sure, Charlie, you're interested in that upcoming tournament that will be taking place in the city of Birmingham for the Alabama state champion.
That's right, Charlie. You know, you got some good wrestlers coming in this area. Bob Armstrong, Ron Fuller, myself. You got Eddie Mansfield, Bob's son coming in, and I want to say something about Brad. I'm talking about Brad Armstrong. He hasn't been wrestling that long. He's had good training from Bob, which has been wrestling for a long time, and the boy's going to be good. And this tournament you're talking about is going to be great.
Thank you very much. Charlie Cook, one of the outstanding competitors you'll be seeing in action in the arenas here in the state of Alabama with Southeastern Wrestling. 6'9", the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller. Mr. Fuller was asked to wrestle on today's program, but you have informed the promotion of Southeastern Wrestling that you do not wrestle on television. Am I correct in this?
That is exactly right. Not only do I not wrestle on television, I had them empty this studio. I don't even want to talk with anybody behind me, jeering, making any remarks. I want those people out there at home to hear the stud. Listen to what I'm saying. That's right. Bring that camera in here a little bit closer. Come on, bring it in. All you women sitting at home, you ain't dreaming. You seeing me live and in living color, the prettiest thing that's been on your television set ever. Ever. You looking at the biggest man, the baddest man that ever been in the state of Alabama. 6 feet 9 inches tall, 265 pounds, and Daddy, I can do it. And
we have some videotape we'd like to review of Terry Funk and Harley Race in a world.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. If you don't mind, I want to tell these people something about myself before we see this film. I want to tell these people something about the man they are looking at. First of all, you're looking at the man that was the youngest man in history to win the Georgia Heavyweight Championship, the youngest man in history to win the Florida Heavyweight Championship, the youngest man in history to win the Southern Heavyweight Championship, the youngest man ever to win the Southeastern Championship, and the man that is destined to be your next world's heavyweight champion. Now, I'm not concerned about this film you're talking about. I'm concerned about you people out there. I want all you rednecks to get up out of your chair right now and walk over to where the calendar is on the wall, right? And I want you to take a pencil out of that old shift row or whatever it is next to that calendar, and I want you to mark a big circle around this date, because today, ladies and gentlemen, is a red-letter day for wrestling in the state of Alabama, for one reason, because the stud has arrived. That's right, I am here, I'm going places, and wrestling is going places. This ain't like nothing you've seen before, believe it. Believe what I'm telling you. I'm the baddest that's ever been. I'm going to take care. I hear them talking about this tournament. I'm here to be the Alabama champion, and I am here to be the champion of you people. Now, I know you're out there watching. I know right now you're saying to yourself, Mom, ain't he something? Look how big and bad he is. Ain't he something? Well, you're right, Grandpa. He is something. And when you come down and pay your money, I will not be wrestling here for free. When you pay your money, you're going to see the wrestlingest machine that has ever been in this country and this world. I've been all over the world, everywhere. I've been to Australia, I've been in the Bahamas, I've been to Mexico, I've wrestled in Canada, I've wrestled in Japan. You name it, I've been there, I've beaten them all. 6 feet 9 inches tall, like I said, 265 pounds. And if I ain't bad, there ain't a bad man around, and I cannot be had. I'm telling you people, mark the calendar just like I tell you. Put that big circle around the date, because today is a red-letter day for wrestling in the state of Alabama for one simple reason. Charlie Platt, is that the name, Platt?
Yes, sir.
For one simple reason, Charlie Platt, the stud is here. Simple as that.
And the Tennessee Stud, we have that video.
I'm not interested in that tape right now. Don't worry about the tape. I got a few more things I'd like to say. First of all, I know this show is seen throughout the state of Alabama. And I have wrestled in parts of the state of Alabama, but the northern area, Birmingham, Florence, Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, and so many little, I don't know the names of all the towns. Some of them are very rinky-dink, but I'm going to be the champion. You people, you're going to be looking at this face, and you're going to be saying, now there is truly a man. Because you mark my words, you are looking at a man that is truly a man. The Tennessee Stud. You will learn that name, you will remember it, because, ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at now is going to be wrestling in the future for you, all of it based around the finest looking man that you women out there have ever seen, and the baddest man that you men out there always dreamed of being something just like the Stud. Now you can cut away to that film if you want to.
Wait. Our director says, I think you've elaborated long enough. We have no time to run that film now. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment.
The biggest...
A lot of action thus far today on Southeastern Championship Wrestling on our first program here in the state of Alabama. I thought it necessary to talk for a moment with Eddie Mansfield, who will be competing in this area. Eddie Mansfield, quite a record as a young athlete, not only in pro wrestling, but in other professional sports as baseball, right, Mr. Mansfield?
I'm not here to talk about baseball, Charlie Platt. You talk about all the pretty things that happens to the lover. You know, you got an array of talent coming into Alabama area, which they've never seen. You had a bunch of jabronis down here for years. They never could. They're not the top shape, you know. They not got the good bodies and the, you know, the fine women and the beautiful things that we have. You know, like the Tennessee Stud. You people are lucky to even see the Stud and myself. You know, they have to pay me top dollar to wrestle on TV because I hate to show my pretty face to all you ugly people. You tired people of Alabama. You're just so tired. You know, the only thing you got going over there is Bear Bryant. He's looking pretty tired these days, you know. Charlie Platt, Alabama's going to be where it's at. It's going to be the talk of the wrestling world, you know. I just can't wait to get there.
And you're, as a competitor, Mr. Mansfield, you are probably dubbed as one of the most unpredictable men in that ring.
Yeah, I'm a little goofy, Charlie. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but that doesn't matter. That's because I party all night with beautiful ladies. You know, the bright lights and the pretty ladies, that's what the continental lover likes. And you know, when you refer to me from now on, Mr. Platt, you refer to me as a continental lover. 228 pounds of twisting, stealing sex appeal. A rich woman's lover and a poor girl's dream. And nothing but sure, pure stepping love machine. When I walk down the aisles of any arena, where it might be, Madison Square Garden, New York, whether it be old tired Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan, or wherever it might be, the women will sweep it at my feet just to get a kiss off the luscious lips of the lover. When you get the Tennessee Stud and the Continental Lover hitting Alabama, brother, that's the biggest thing that's ever hit Alabama since the university. Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and some of those little tired towns. Pack up your little old ladies and grab your babies and all of you. Come on. When the stud and the lover come, everybody goes, baby. It's going to be sellout after sellout. You know, Birmingham or wherever it's going to be, they're going to be turning people away. When your tickets go on sale, people, just go ahead and buy them because they're going to all be gone.
Briefly.
You're going to be left. Briefly, I guess you thought I was finished talking, Charlie.
No, go ahead. If you...
And then, when we walk down the aisles, the stud and the lover, it's going to be sure, pure pandemonium, extravaganza in its own time, baby. Like I told you once, we're a rich woman's lover and a poor girl's dream. And don't you come out there, you old tired-looking women wearing your crocosite drawers and stuff, because I don't want to see you, darling. I don't want to see nothing but fine as elderberry wine, because the lover, and that old Severs. Oh, boy, I can't even talk now, Charlie. You done got me interrupted there. When we walk down the aisles of Alabama, it's going to be it. It's going to be checkout time. And you got Bob Armstrong, old rhyming Bob Armstrong. We coming for you, Bob Armstrong. Have no fear. We will be there.
Competitor in the state of Alabama, the Continental Lover. First edition of Southeastern Championship Wrestling here in the state of Alabama. We certainly appreciate you joining us. Running down briefly what has taken place on today's program. Bob Armstrong, the winner over the superstar. Eddie Mansfield, the Continental Lover, as he refers to himself, was a winner over Reggie Simpson. We also saw some action from the former United States, or the former world junior heavyweight champion, Tony Charles, who will be competing in this area very soon. Also, you saw the phenomenon in pro wrestling today, the Southeastern heavyweight champion, the Mongolian Stomper. A good win for Charlie Cook and Rick Gibson over the Big C's 1 and 2. And I do apologize for that situation taking place at the end of the program. We had planned to show that very important match from Canada, in which Harley Race defeated Terry Funk for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And because of the comments, the long comments of the Tennessee stud Ron Fuller, we were unable to bring you that. Hopefully next week or in weeks to come, we'll be bringing you that action. Coming soon to the state of Alabama in Southeastern Championship Wrestling, David Schultz, an outstanding competitor from Jackson, Tennessee. The World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Les Thornton, will be in action here in the state of Alabama. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Harley Race, 3-time champion for the National Wrestling Alliance, and I'm sure you've seen him on television and possibly seen him in action in the arenas before, and you know what a top competitor Harley Race is, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. You'll be seeing the son of Bob Armstrong. That's Brad Armstrong, 18 years old now, and already making great headway in the world of pro wrestling. He'll be in action soon. Also, the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, Jerry Stubbs, along with a host of others. Certainly, again, we appreciate you joining us for our first edition of Southeastern Wrestling, and I hope by now you have some kind of an idea of the outstanding talent and outstanding competition you'll be seeing in the weeks to come here in the state of Alabama with the purchase of Don Curtis of Southeastern Wrestling throughout the state of Alabama. Southeastern Wrestling, the largest wrestling territory in the nation, stretching from the Ohio River to the Gulf of Mexico in Mobile, Alabama. Thank you again for joining us. Next week, my colleague Les Thatcher, former pro wrestler himself, an outstanding commentator, will be joining us on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. We certainly hope you'll make your plans to join us then. Thank you, Earl Tyson and Neil Riddle, our camera director, Wayne Register. We'll see you next week on Southeastern Championship Wrestling. I'm Charlie Platt, along with Les Thatcher.